am back once again. Oof, well, I had a bit of a interesting week, some computer problems, but it's all fixed now. And here I am live for the Dukect Lounge. And well, man, this has been a very interesting week, and I got a lot of stuff to talk about. And before that, ladies and gentlemen, remember if you want to connect to me, Dukect, remember the call in. The number is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, call ID is 92417. Now, if you are, remember you can always go in the chat room and say what's up and all that good stuff in the chat room. And if you can't call in, and remember, also all the videos and such will be uploaded to YouTube. The audio of this podcast, remember, will be uploaded to YouTube. Screw Attack, RiseOfTheCritics.com, Zipcast. See, it's coming to my That Guy with the Glasses forum, video review posts, and all that good stuff. And speaking of that, my next review, TNA Slam vs. Eastman, God, it's been a while. It is basically, it's in the editing process right now. It is like at 50% done. All I gotta do is just do a little editing, and bada bing, bada boom, it's done. Hopefully I will have it all done tonight. I'm gonna be staying up doing all that, and then after that, hopefully I will upload it tomorrow. And after uploading it, I will up I will after uploading it, I will do the Dukect Lounge afterwards, and just relax, and then continue on some other interesting video projects and what have you. Anyway, oh man, what an interesting couple weeks, man. The NFL has basically imploded on itself. Adrian Peterson basically is Ray Rice. Two guys. If you told me 2 years ago this stuff was going to happen, most people wouldn't believe it. I mean, this is a watershed moment for the NFL. It's a complete another debacle. And it's amazing because, earlier this week they said they were going to bring back, I love the Vikings. They were going to bring back Adrian Peterson. But then, well, after Anheuser-Busch, which funny enough, when those guys are saying, yeah, we don't like the way the league is basically acting right now, they start pulling out, the sponsors pulling out. And now, he's basically benched for the foreseeable future. I mean, Ray Rice, I know he's going to get his appeal, but there's some other big news about this. Supposedly, that that let's see, I'm going to look at this up. Is that ESPN had supposedly a new story that supposedly the Ravens knew the entire time. I gotta find the link to this. Let's see. Um, yes, supposedly, here it is. I have the link here. The link. This right here is amazing. Supposedly, that Ray Rice, that the settlement scandal, and everything else, is that you know what? That they knew the entire time. They had all the video. The main people had the video. The GM, the coach, everyone. In fact, um, it gets to a point that they had the video exactly from the start. And Ray Rice has been upfront with them within hours of doing it. So they asked for Goodell for 2 games, which of course he gave. Yeah, it's like just give him 2 games, he's fine. And Goodell gave, said, okay, we'll give you 2 games and such. And even when it hit the fan, and they cut him Someone from the team office texted Rice to tell him they had a job waiting for him with the team when all this dies down. That's just wow. I mean, this is. And here's the sad part: that after all the dust will settle about this craziness, it might look like that Ray Rice might not be the worst person out there. This is just, oh my goodness. I mean, you know, I mean, I know the Ravens has a shady past, and most of their players are going to prison and such. But this, yeah, I'm not gonna really give them any type of, at this point, I'm not even bothering. I'm not gonna even look at the game. This stuff right here is shady beyond anything. I mean, at some point, this is actually making the WWE and even pro wrestling at this point. I mean, I haven't seen this much shade. It's like, right? Maybe back in the territories they did some of that stuff. I mean, and maybe Vincent Mac in the 80s or Jimmy Superfly Snuka, allegedly. But honestly, this stuff right here is just, I mean, wow. I don't know what else to call this. This is just insanity. I don't know what else to even this whole timeline. It's just, oh my goodness, this stuff is you know what? Honestly, uh, it's amazing. Goodell needs to be. I think it's going to be a lot. Hopefully, by the end of this year, I think Goodell might be fired. I think this whole thing is going to be. I think a lot of things going to be. A lot of stuff. A lot of bad things are going to happen, man. This is going to be insane. Honestly, I don't know how even person is going to be a Raven fans at this point. This stuff right here is just, again, this is just breaking. I just found this stuff out. I don't know what else to call this. This is just sad, man. People would do just to pick up victories, man. It's screwed up. It's screwed up. Whew. Anyway, enough of that. I want to have anyone comment. If you want to comment on that, leave a comment below. If you don't care about me talk about anything other than the NFL, don't care about me talk about the NFL, but that just will interest me a bit. You know, and I'll get back to professional wrestling, and people will only care about that. Hopefully, I mean, I do want to, you know, and I like to branch out things that interest me. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? Anyway, let's get back to something that a lot of people really care about. It's Night of Champions. Wrestling fans are caring about WWE Night of Champions. Uh, wow, what a freaking! This is going to be a pay-per-view. It's going to be a very interesting pay-per-view event, and I will be talking about this. Oh yeah, I will get into this right now. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. First up, we have the Viper, Randy Orton taking on Y2J Chris Jericho. I don't know why they're fighting. I don't know what the purpose is for this. I haven't been watching Raw or anything. It's like Roman. I mean, after his loss against Roman Reigns, he just been Randy's just been floating. He hasn't done much. He just doesn't do anything. And Jericho, these two guys didn't really have any good matches before. It's going to be a very dull match. I'm hopeful it'll be a good one, but I don't have much faith in it. I have Randy Orton winning because Chris Jericho is going to probably lose and probably get punted and see how Randy Orton is Uber back and everything else, yada, yada, yada. Next up is the National Pride on the Line match as the super athlete Rusev with the lovely Lana taking on the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Nope, don't care. This match is going to be at least, hopefully, it'll be passable, but I don't know. I think Rusev is going to win. I honestly think Rusev is going to win. He's going to continue on winning until he faces John Cena, and John Cena makes him humble, and then he's going to start doing a dancing gimmick. Yeah. And then he'll be released in 2 or 3 years. And the WWE is going to be like, man, why can't we have any good, strong horses and such? I wonder why. Whatever. Rusev's going to win. Next up is the revenge match. Revenge match. As Mr. Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins, the betrayer of the Shield, takes on the the man, the Superman, Roman Reigns. I heard they had a match on Monday where Roman Reigns won the match clean, which is funny because I mean it's a fresh mashup. I honestly think this should be selling the pay per view, and quite honestly, you need people to buy the pay per view, including the network, which is $9.99 a month for 6 months, $9.99 a month. You need people to buy it. This is a fresh matchup. This is like wow, this is going to be great. I can't wait to see. In fact, it's funny. They gave this for free, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, but yet they're building up Rusev and Mark Henry, and they actually never had a match yet. I don't get it. How in the world can you not have? How in the world, if as Rusev and Mark Henry, the fresh match of this? This is one of the fresh matches on this card, and these are the only two that had not competed in any matches against each other, to my knowledge. Everyone else had at least faced at least once and such. Other than the Divas matches and such, and the tag team title match, everything else here, there's rematches. It's a rematch card of people we don't really care about, and they had a chance to do something like this with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I was interested in that. Instead, they gave the match free on Monday Night Raw with no type of with little to no hype. I don't get this. I don't get it. Can someone explain to me why this is going on? It makes no daggone sense. Anyway, I have Seth Rollins winning via shenanigans and Roman Reigns. I don't know. Some people say rumor of Dean Ambrose coming back at Night of Champions and continuing the feud with Seth Rollins or joining up with him in a so-called heel turn. That's the rumors are happening. I doubt that. I really don't think WWE would be this stupid. But then again, they did have the Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns actually have the match before the pay per view, which makes no sense whatsoever. So I wouldn't be surprised by that. But in the end, I have Seth Rollins winning the match. Hopefully, I have Seth Rollins. Next up, we have the WWE Divas Championship match as the champion Paige takes on Nikki Bella and AJ Lee. Yeah, I don't care for this. I'm sorry, but the Divas champion has been basically a placeholder for basically a crappy Nikki and Brie feud. I honestly it's the crappiness of this feud, and it's overbearing of the AJ and Paige, which I love the opening segment with this, and I watched it, and I was gonna wait till move on. Paige didn't do anything. Paige was just a prop. Just she didn't have any influence or anything else. And the shocker, it was because McMahon's involved. Of course, it doesn't matter who. From you know, from a man named Brian Zane who does Wrestling with Regret, he coined this thing. He says, you know what, he's right because it doesn't matter in the world of WWE. It doesn't matter who wins championships. It doesn't matter who wins matches. It doesn't matter who does all this stuff. In the end, it's always about the McMahons. And honestly, at the end of the day, I would not be surprised if Stephanie McMahon somehow becomes Divas champion in all of this. The only positive I hope is not Brie. I want AJ to do it. At least AJ, I'm tolerant of her. I don't like her. I'm tolerant of her. I'm like, I don't think she's the be all end all. I think she's talented. But I don't think she's the greatest diva ever. That's just my personal opinion. And Paige, I've seen bit of her. She's good, but I honestly, like I said, she's Gail Kim 2.0. And honestly, I would not be surprised in like a year or two she's going to get released and be forgotten about. I would not be surprised by that. And hopefully she land on her feet at GFW or somehow by miracle of miracles TNA is still alive. They pick her up. I don't know, but honestly, I have Nikki Bella winning to continue the "I wish you die in the room" feud with Brie. Oh goodness, the acting is just horrible, horrifying. I know I'm not asking for much. Right? I mean, I know I'm not asking for like Oscar-winning acting, but the Bellas are just horrible on the mic. Nikki's a bit better than Brie, but yet it's the same thing with Colton Carr. Um, it says this. It gets a paraphrase from the car. It says she's 1,000 times better, but 1,000 times 0 is still 0. Moving on, we get our tag team championship match as the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso, taking on Goldust and Stardust. I'm betting the Usos win here because I think I no Stardust wins here. Stardust wins here because quite honestly, the Usos have done honestly they have good matches, but I just there's nothing interesting in them. I don't care about any of them. I don't really just there's nothing really intriguing about them. They're hanging out with John Cena at one point. They just sit there. I mean, they're smiling. They're the typical smiling baby face that doesn't have any personality. They say, hey, uh, Jay Uso has lots of personality on Total Divas. I'm like, well, I don't watch Total Divas. I don't care about Total Divas. Why are you talking to me about Total Divas, the reality show? I watched, well, mostly I watched the WWE Raw, where they have 3 hours, 3 hours to get at least some type of character development. And some say, oh, you can't do all that. No, no. Cut some of the recaps. Cut some of that stuff. Get some promo time with them. They're not really getting promos. And not on the WWE app, of course. Show the show stuff. Show the stuff on the main show. WWE didn't have any problem with that doing the attitude or anything else. It's like, oh, you have to get everything to get the true depth of the characters. No. You have a total of 5 hours a week to Raw and SmackDown to get these characters over and get the characters over via segments and tone their personalities and such. You can't just delegate that to apps or other shows that by itself do not watch. You have 5 hours. If you can't dedicate a little bit of time to get your tag team champions a little bit of personality other than being the smiling baby faces, that's basically it. Give them something to do. Give them something to go after. Something that it be something to change up something. Because quite honestly, I'm just bored. They're good matches, but at the end, they're not compelling. I mean, why should I cheer for someone who has good matches, but at the end of the day, they're not really compelling? I have Stardust and Goldust winning, maybe to shake things up and make them a little more upset, because I heard they were a bit blaming each other during the whole, I think it was like last couple months of them facing the Wyatt family, which I think will be more. I thought the Wyatts were going to win that tag belts. I thought they would be winning the tag belts, but of course, no. We had to keep up with the bland. I mean, these two bland guys who I really wish there was some more things to them. That's what I want. But in the end, I'm going to say Stardust and Goldust win, just to shake things up, and that's what I think. But I think I'm probably will not be surprised if the Usos win. But yeah, Goldust and Stardust are probably going to. I think they're going to win. To set all this time building up Stardust, I don't think they're going to have them lose. Anyway, next up is the United States Championship match as the Celtic Warrior Sheamus takes on the Swiss Superman Cesaro. And they had a pretty good match at Extreme Rules, so I think this could be really good. not Extreme Rules. Payback. I think they had a pretty good match, but it ended up really short and anticlimactic. I'm here's hoping to have a better finish, and Cesaro gets the United States Championship, and Savage can just do something else. Because I hopefully he can do something. I don't know. I have Cesaro winning because Sheamus hasn't really done much with the U.S. title. Yeah. Next up, we have the Intercontinental Championship match as the show. Dolph Ziggler takes on the movie star, the moneymaker, The Miz. Yeah, I don't care about this match at all. I think Ziggler's going to win. I guess I just don't care for the Intercontinental title. I just really don't care. So yeah, Ziggler wins and keeps the title. Then we get to our main event as the World Heavyweight Championship match as the Beast, the WWE Champion, Brock Lesnar, with Paul Heyman taking on the number one contender, the leader of the C Nation, John Cena. Yeah, I did not want this rematch. SummerSlam basically destroyed Cena. He was destroyed. I honestly don't see any point to have this thing. And it's not like, oh, he wasn't prepared. He was prepared. He was prepared. He was up there like, I'm going to beat you, Brock Lesnar, and have you fight for the W title. Like, you got to kill me to beat me. Well, he basically almost ended up dead. He suplexed him to death, basically, the entire match. It was suplex, 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 and another dozen more suplexes after that. And then hits the F5. I mean, dude at the F5 at the beginning of the match and just telling him who's the man here. Cena didn't even have a prayer. He didn't have a shot. And now he's heck, honestly, he's actually more heelish I've ever seen Cena from the YouTube videos I've seen of him. Going out in this whole stuff here. I mean, him threatening Heyman, him pushing Heyman down. And then you got Brock Lesnar come out, basically suplex him again. Then attack Brock Lesnar from behind and attack him. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is acting more heelish than our supposed heel champion. And by the way, what did Brock Lesnar do that was so heelish and what have you? He did what Paul Heyman said he was going to do. He victimized John Cena. He destroyed John Cena with the crowd cheering for it. And honestly, I can't really root against Brock Lesnar, and it will be foolish, absolutely stupid to have John Cena win this match. But I have a sneaky suspicion that Brock Lesnar will win because it will be downright just dumb. I'm sorry, it will be goddamn dumb to actually have John Cena win this match. Brock Lesnar wins, a more competitive match with Brock Lesnar wins. I do not want to see. I'm putting a lot of faith in the WWE here because last time I picked John Cena to win at SummerSlam, thinking that WWE would be that stupid, but I was wrong. Lesnar came in, he conquered, he came, he saw, he conquered. But I'm putting my faith in the WWE here. I'm hoping that they do the same thing because if they don't, I honestly would just say, you know what? I'm not gonna watch this stuff anymore. I'm done. I'm done, baby. Now I can't do it. I wouldn't watch this anymore. I just be like, you know what? If John Cena wins and looks dominant and just looks completely like a badass, I basically would cancel the WWE subscription. I would cancel my network subscription that night, and I honestly would not watch WWE until heck, maybe I wouldn't even probably watch WrestleMania. Hell, I wouldn't even review WrestleMania 31. If the WWE screws this up. This is simple. This is easy. Lesnar wins. No debate about it. Anyway, we're gonna take a small little break here. We'll be right back as I will go take a look at Destiny. That a lot of people have a very mixed things about saying it. I have my thoughts about it as well, and maybe I'll do a more in-depth video review about it. But in the end of the day, I will be talking about it here live in the GCT Lounge. Anyway, this is going to be a small lyric, something from the new album uh, from the new album from OC Remix, Super Mario 64, Portrait of a Plumber. We are going. I am going to be playing. Wings to the Sky, Powerful Mario. Thank you so much for listening to me, Duke CT. We'll be right back right after this song here live on the Duke CT Lounge. And we are back live here on the Duke CT Lounge. Thank you for so much for joining me, Duke CT. All right, let's get the numbers out of the way. If you want to call me, remember the dial number is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Duke CT, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. The chat room's unlocked. And you see, if you haven't heard this thing live, how dare you? Remember, you can download stuff from iTunes. You can also download stuff for iTunes. Subscribe there, by the way. Also, my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe that. And, Rise of the Critics. Posting on Rise of the Critics, Zipcast, and Screw Attack. Let's see. That guy has glasses forms. Everywhere but Blip, because my Blip account is basically now destroyed. Still bitter about that. Anyway, Destiny! Destiny! Let's talk about Destiny. Well, it is, first off, it's a first person shooter that was made by Bungie. And I gotta say, for the most part, I am enjoying the game. And I can see why a lot of people who were disappointed by it. It's really, well, to start off, the story is basically you are this guardian, this super uber badass bounty hunter guardian thing that basically goes around taking out these monsters that are, well, the same variant monsters over and over and over again that have no real edge or anything else to them. It's not. I mean, they all look the same for the most part. And basically, it's an MMO, first person shooter RPG. Now, I had a taste of this when I played DC DC Universe Online. I haven't played that in a while. I need to start playing that again. Also got PS3 connection. I got to start playing that up. Um, I have to say, I am I'm not really impressed by the villains or the story, which basically said the human race discovered these towers, these mini planets, and everything was worked out, and everything was great. We have breath technology, then we crossed the stars, and then the darkness came and took that away. That's it, the darkness. The darkness. The darkness. Darkness came. Yeah. I just, why? Why? I mean, just the story is so bland and not. I mean, it's a terrible story. And I know MMOs don't really have the best stories, or they don't have any revolution to these stories. It just continues on. I mean, DCUO, even all. I mean, I watch other players like Tiger. from Mud to MMO. Link in the description about his YouTube channel, and he's awesome, by the way. Um, I just saw him before I got on get on the live podcast. He did this thing with Trigon, and I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't this thing about Brainiac? Him doing all this other stuff, and there hasn't been any resolution on that. Because in fact, I did the game end content, had Brainiac frozen in some type of tube or something. I'm like, wait a minute, he's frozen. How is he still causing this much damage? Did the League, the Justice League, didn't really do anything to him? No. I mean, couldn't they just say they're still looking for it and have Brainiac be like totally defeated and they have to continue the run around in the DC universe, that sort of thing? Instead of just there's no true end goal. It's always this. It's always this. We have to keep going and going because this. We have to this, that, and the other. There's no real end story. There's no real ending. And I understand that, but I honestly want in an MMORPG or something like this, if there's going to be there's some resolution to one end of one storyline and begin with another. In fact, make it a worldwide event that Brainiac will finally have a huge thing with Brainiac and have it defeat. And of course, you can still have new people show up by, the device is still there. You can have just the regular DC universe here. Instead of just doing the same thing with Brainiac finding this and you're in a ship and doing this and this, that, and the other, the same thing over for how many years now? They need a shakeup, and I think that's the problem with MMOs. It's just they need this basic line story, but yet never evolving. They evolve, but they never finish that one storyline, that first storyline. There's no real resolution to that one storyline, and I think that probably is a hindrance to other people. That's probably a hindrance to other people wanting to play these type of games. Probably some people will be like, I don't really want to play this game because there's no real true resolution. How bad the plot is, how bland or boring it is, there's no real resolution to it. Even though it sold like how much millions of dollars, made over $500 million in its first day, thanks to abnormal piles of hype for the past 2 or 3 years. And honestly, I played it. I have fun with it. People say it's like Borderlands. I haven't played Borderlands and such. I know maybe I should get on the Borderlands because I think there's going to be a prequel coming out, so I'm going to be probably playing that. That's when that thing comes out. And quite honestly, I'm not much of the first person shooter guy. I'm not the first person shooter type of person. I'm more of a third person guy. I'm more of a platformer. I love, that sort of thing. I'm more, that sort of. But I do respect some what Destiny tried to do. I like the multiplayer aspect. I like the themes, the events they have. I feel we're a part of the world. When I just sit there and destroyed a huge big monster, my stuff from all the other high levels and everything, I felt like I accomplished something. But overall, I feel like I don't know. It just feels like there could have been more. I feel like the game should have been a bit better at it. The game. It could have been a lot better. Instead, it just flies around. It's just like it just as it is. It's just a regular very it's a well done crafted shooter. I think the mechanics work really well. If you know how to work around the stuff there, it's great. I wouldn't buy a PS4 or Xbox One with it because the graphics, for the most part, relatively stay the same. There's not much of a leap. There's some better detail for the PS4 or Xbox One I've seen, but there's not much of like, oh, I got like the last like a jump from the PS2 to the PS3 or the Xbox to the Xbox 360. I haven't been wowed yet. In fact, the only thing that's wowed me was Batman Arkham Knight. That's the one that's wowed me, and I'm still waiting, and I'll probably get the $200 Batmobile thing once that's available. I'm probably gonna get that because God dog it, I might get that the Batmobile version. Plus, I need to get the Xbox One or PS4. I don't know if I'm going to get the PS4 or the Xbox One, but it looks I'm leaning towards the PS4. I might get Xbox One later, but yeah. But more importantly, I'll probably get the Wii U first, then the Xbox One last, the PS4 second, the next gen consoles. Yeah, very accurate when that stuff comes out. But that's just my personal opinion and such. That's where I'm going to go. But back to Destiny. It's a good game. Not really. Oh, it's not the oh my gosh the greatest thing ever, but it's so serviceable. It's not. I mean, it's a serviceable game, and it's not the worst thing in the universe. And I think honestly, it needs a better story. If it had a better story and it had some, I mean, it does have some nice locales for the multiplayer and such. I like the huge maps there. Hopefully, there's more stuff. I think there's more story in there with the um, season pass, which I don't know if I'm going to get or not. I think this is. I think there are some good stuff here, but it's going to take some time to get there. Hopefully, there'll be more stuff to what Destiny is, and the coming months and weeks and coming months as they're doing events and everything to keep this thing going. Here's hoping that people at Bungie know what they're doing and continue this franchise because I'm hopeful that this the first steps they look at it and see what they did wrong. They continue with Destiny and hopefully when this franchise and this eventual sequel comes out, they look what they did wrong. They look at the criticisms with a true look of criticism. Say, okay, we know what we did wrong. We need to fix these problems and with a humbleness and look at them, say, okay, here's what we need to do: a better story, a better actions and consequences for the player when they do enough single player and such, and maybe a lot more variable maps and more exploration because honestly, some places feel like the moon feels like it's just one map or Venus or anything. It just feels like just one long thing. I like the moon, but I feel like they should cover more of it, do more of it. Heck, I feel like I'm doing more of Mass Effect, driving around the moon and seeing how different that is, than I feel with Destiny. Mass Effect came around in 2007, and I felt like more exploring on that than Destiny, which has some details, has other places out there, but just like you're visiting the same place over and over again. In fact, you are visiting the same place over and over again. It's very frustrating and sad that you have to do that. I mean, just because there are some good elements in the game, the gunplay is nice, the multiplayer is really fun, but overall, it's not the best. I think overall, it has some work to do, and hopefully, this is a new franchise, it's a new IP, sort of. Hopefully, Bungie sees these criticisms and hopefully does not take them, hope they take them to heart in some cases, take these some criticisms, take them to heart and say, okay, we know what we did wrong, and the sequel of Destiny 2 is going to be a lot bigger. The story's going to be better. The multiplayer is going to be a lot more varied maps, and make the worlds feel like bigger worlds. That's that's what I think should be accomplished. Anyway, that's it for me. Duke CT, thank you so much for listening to me live on the Duke CT Lounge. You guys are awesome as always. And remember, the Duke CT Lounge will be up on YouTube, not Blip. Yeah, I don't Blip anymore. It'll be up on YouTube, Screw Attack, Zipcast, hopefully, and Rise of Critics and Echo Glasses forums, video forums, hopefully by tomorrow. And at rvt.entertainment.com. You guys are awesome up there. You guys who watch it are the community of RVT. You guys are awesome and continue to be awesome. Thank you so much for supporting me. In fact, everybody who supports me, who watch my stuff, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And the 20th review is coming. It's almost done. And hopefully I'll have it up tomorrow, if not by Sunday. Anyway, thank you so much. Again, this is a humbling experience for me, for everybody, for me working on this and doing all these stuff. Thank you so much. And don't worry, this is not my last show. I'm still gonna be doing the things, doing all the things. Duke City Lounge, hopefully, not hopefully, but we'll be up next Friday, 10 p.m. Same Duke CT time, same Duke CT channel. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. This is Duke CT here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.